Shout out to our boy Uru,
Yeah.
who's I think the only person on our team that watches this. So I just wanted to shout him out because he wanted to know how I kept this guy nice and warm for 15 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like it's not hot. It's hot for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there. But I do have an Ember cup on my desk.
Yeah, you do.
It keeps it nice and hot. But
Yeah.
this looks a lot nicer on
Yeah.
on screen here. Worldwide Developer Conference
Oh yeah. That was yesterday.
2022.
Yes.
New MacBook Air
Yes.
with an M2 chip.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Aside from the fact that I don't know the difference now between a MacBook Air and a MacBook Pro 13.
No.
Is it 13 or 14? 14 now, right?
now. Yes. I don't understand. I mean, honestly, I get what they're doing, but I don't get what they're doing. So it used to be that there was a MacBook, and then there was the MacBook Pro,
Right.
and then there's the MacBook Air, which is in between. But is there? Let me see.
I don't...
So they don't make the MacBook anymore.
Nah.
See, like it
No,
says
no.
MacBook Air, MacBook Pro,
So there's no MacBook anymore. It's just Air
Air. Okay.
and Pro. But what's the difference between a 14-inch Pro now and a MacBook Air?
Well,
is it just the size?
I guess. But here's the problem. Like now it has the M2 chip. So now it's confusing because now it looks like their Air is more powerful than their Pro.
Exactly. And the price point, if I'm not mistaken, is like, what is it, like $12.99 for the Air?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't that what the Pro costs? The 14?
Right around there, yeah.
Around that?
Yeah.
So,
Something like that.
I mean, what do you go for? I don't know.
I don't know, Apple. Just make a decision. Even so, like I used to work on Dell,
Yeah.
and Dell would have like 30 versions of the Inspiron.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is pretty conservative as far as companies go, but even so, it is confusing, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. iOS 16, I didn't see too much about it other than just the general highlights of how the home screen or the lock screen with the alerts, which
Yeah.
I do like. I do hate when it's like covering your photo
Yeah.
on the lock screen, those
Yeah.
alerts or whatever. The iMessages update's going to be kind of cool to be able to edit your typos
Yes.
and retract messages.
And I think too isn't there something as well for, is it the iPad OS where you can have basically floating windows? Is that one?
I saw it on desktop. It's called Center Stage or Theater or something like that.
Something like that. But no, I mean like
On the iPad, you mean?
The iPad's starting to be like multi-apps like on top of each other, almost like Finder.
I haven't looked into that yet. I only saw some of the macOS Ventura updates, which
Yeah.
is, I think they called it Center or Stage Manager or whatever. A little weird, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd use it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I have a giant monitor like you do, and I don't mind having multiple windows open sometimes. But it's a way to organize what you want to see without the clutter,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Maybe some people will use it.
What are we waiting for around here? We're waiting for iOS Compton.
After Ventura, I'll be Compton.
Yes.
Come on, man. Come on. What's the tagline for that one?
I don't know. What is it? I don't know, man.
That's hilarious. They went from, what was it? From like, what is it called? The Big Sur and El Capitan.
Yeah.
You know, now they're moving their way inland.
Inland. Yeah.
We're
Moving
going to
down
be more
south.
inclusive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, they
Gotta
did
come to the
Catalina,
hood, bro.
They did Catalina.
Yeah,
But
they did.
yeah, they're gonna start going inland. Imagine like OS Fresno.
Bakersfield.
Oh,
shoot.
dang.
One of our team members asked, we interviewed someone.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you located? He said Fresno, and then our team member says, "Well, where's Fresno?" I go, it's California, but it's the you don't want to go there. It's basically the armpit
Right.
of California. So no offense if you're from Fresno, but we're in Orange County. Anyways, there's a CarPlay, another one.
Yeah.
Look pretty cool.
Yep.
If the new manufacturers for these new cars are going to start putting full on screens,
Mm-hmm.
then they don't have to worry about building any software or anything into these things. They can just say CarPlay enabled,
Mm-hmm.
and then just load it right in and not
Right.
even worry about it.
Well, if Tesla told the car industry anything, car manufacturers aren't software developers at all.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they've learned that lesson. I mean, I was telling you, like I was driving around in my mother-in-law's Mercedes, and I couldn't even change the radio because it's got this weird touch dial, and then it spins and it moves and it has a touch thing, and none of it makes sense. It's not intuitive, and I know it hasn't been updated since the day she bought it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm glad that people are figuring this out.
Yeah, and I drive an Audi, and the interface. It was probably one of the first ones that had a screen on it
Mm-hmm.
because it's not great.
Right.
I don't use any of it, and it's got the wheel in the center,
Mm-hmm.
and then buttons
Mm-hmm.
all around, and you have to like navigate with the wheel. It's the worst UI or UX
Mm-hmm.
you could possibly imagine for a car. I mean, you certainly can't do anything while you're driving
No.
unless you know kind of how to navigate around.
Right.
There's just no way.
3 clicks to the right.
Yeah. It's just a whole
1 click
nightmare.
down.
Yeah. It's dumb.
Speaking of Mac, I was telling you, or Apple, I was telling you, there's a shortage on the MacBook Pros.
So if you rewind to, I don't know, several episodes,
We had a box sitting.
I had a
down
box sitting here. I pulled out
here. This guy.
my MacBook Pro
Mm-hmm.
with the M1 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you were next,
Yeah.
and I think
That
you
was kinda-
finally went right to the
Yeah.
Mac store.
I was kind of holding out a little bit,
Yeah,
but then I started looking, and dang thing sold out.
man. And you downloaded a tracker.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Someone on GitHub made a little tracker. I don't know how it knows this, but it searches the inventory for the Apple stores. And we put in, what did we found one in Arizona.
Glendale.
Glendale, Arizona had one, and somewhere in San Antonio
Yep.
had 2. So, it's hard for me to believe because I've never been to an Apple store and then be like, sorry, we don't have the thing, a MacBook Pro. But maybe it's the chip shortage or whatnot.
It's got to be.
But you have the option of putting in an order, and it says it'll be here in August. Like what?
It's almost like ordering a Tesla.
Yeah, it's almost like ordering a Tesla.
And then they're gonna keep moving the.
Right. Well, at that point, just let me wait till they upgrade. it's gonna be obsolete before it gets
For real,
here.
August and September they'll probably.
Yeah, it'll be the new
September,
Macworld.
October will be the
Right.
MacBook Pro with the M2
Yes.
in it or something
Yes.
like that, right?
Yeah. Isn't that like they do it right before the holidays?
Yeah,
So yeah, they'll be like
might-
M2. Just kidding. You just bought this a week ago.
yeah. You might benefit from a holdout.
I might look.
But
There's
who knows?
actually some good buyer's guides out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Rumors has a really good one where they'll track the release date of the latest version and how many days it's been since it's been updated, and they'll put it in the zone. They'll be like, okay, typically it's 500 days between major updates, and so they'll tell you like it's good to buy now or you should hold off. So I might check that out.
Interesting. What else is in the news here? And what's on the Elon watch?
Rumors are that
Besides
he's
the
trying
fact that he tweeted today about YouTube, and now YouTube is trending.
I heard he's trying to back out of the Twitter deal.
Yeah, I heard that too. It says YouTube seems to be nonstop scam ads. And then somebody else tweeted, Elon absolutely buying Google now.
He's gonna take over Google.
Take over Google.
I don't know, man. What else we got? I've got.
Look at this
the
real
whole
quick.
thing. Oh, there's a thing here real quick.
Yeah.
Why SaaS is bucking the venture slowdown. So there's that whole. There's rumors, right? There's been some slowdowns in some tech companies. Who did some layoffs recently?
Coinbase did.
Coinbase, Loom, I heard, did some layoffs.
Tesla, in a way.
Yeah, they talked about
Right?
it. Yeah.
No, they demanded all their employees, all their remote employees come back.
Really?
You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah.
I heard
It
he
was a
talking
leaked
about
email.
I heard he was like trying to do a reduction.
Well, some people speculate
Or took
that
it
was
that
his
way.
way
Oh,
of
interesting.
doing it. There's a term for that when you sort of thin the herd without having to do actual layoffs.
Uh-huh.
You do something like, hey, no more remote working. If you don't like it, leave, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And so some people will leave.
I can see that. Yeah.
But they won't rehire.
Right. They'll be like, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, that was supposed to be a leaked email that he sent to his employees.
Yeah. But SaaS, it says, is bucking the trend of slowdowns. Makes sense.
Does.
SaaS is where it's at. I remember being annoyed with venture capital's love affair with SaaS products, and now I'm like, no, I get it.
Totally get it.
There's rumors here of Amazon building a new to world AR product. So we'll see. Did you ever see that Amazon robot? The little Alexa robot thing?
I don't remember.
Go look. It's on the Amazon store. It's a little robot thing, and it like walks around, and you can tell it that you can have it do different things around the house.
Like do chores?
Well,
It seems like it
they show it like delivering
might be pretty
something
stupid.
from room to room or something. But the idea, what they're trying to create now is like, instead of getting cameras in every room, you get like a drone or a robot, and it just roams your house as like a security guard.
That's interesting.
So, but this is an AR product that they're working on.
Did Apple announce anything in that
No.
AR or
They
VR? Nothing?
they didn't say squat. There was no one more thing or anything. No, it was just. I think they only do that in the fall. But I don't know.
This
I miss,
is more
I miss
geared
Steve Jobs,
to
man.
like software.
Steve Jobs would have had it already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He would have had it already. Tim Cook's just like, maybe never. Well, Apple is. It's like one of those things. Like they won't come out with something unless they know it's a done deal. Unless they know they've nailed it. And AR. I think we talked about this last week or week before about sort of this idea of seeing through the VR thing. And so I think they've realized like if they can nail that, but they have to nail it. If they can do that, they've solved it in a certain way. At least the difference between those two worlds. They've made it sort of livable with both. But I think the technology is almost there. My guess is they're probably running on like, they're probably trying to run it on like one of their iPad Pro processors or even the M1 or M2, but it's getting too hot. That's my guess. Plus you're running on it, you have to hold that battery in your freaking head. I heard they said they were going to try to put the battery in the back. So they probably will be a little more balanced, but even so.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical of that stuff. I just
Yeah.
think we're so far away from it. And now that we're getting into sort of Web3
yeah,
as an agency and just being educated in that space,
yeah.
that's like the last thing people are talking about.
It
I
kinda
feel
is,
the
but
metaverse stuff.
I have this weird gut about it. When it's going to be like the iPhone when it hits.
You think so?
Yeah. Once it hits, it's going to be like there's just going to be no going back. That's my.
Perhaps. The thing with the iPhone though was there was nothing leading up to it.
No.
That was like
That was
someone's
even-
gonna crack that.
No.
He just showed you something that didn't exist.
Yeah.
That was revolutionary.
What was crazy?
My skepticism is that, and in fact, I heard this on a pod They were talking about like genius founders, like the kid who prototyped the first Oculus and then sold to Facebook at 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like how long ago was that? 8
Dude.
years ago? 10 years ago?
Yeah. A long time ago.
Why are we still? Why aren't we further along?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Right. That's the $1
Yeah.
million question.
And it may be a technology problem or, hardware, software. Because, again, chips haven't advanced as fast as they should have. But let me say this, that I remember when Apple was, because you remember back in 2000, all they had was Apple device, like Macs and stuff at the time. They had the iPod. That was about as crazy as they were. And I remember all this talk like, where's my iPhone? Do you remember that? There were all these memes at the time. Where's my iPhone? Because it hadn't even been called that yet. Like, Apple hadn't released it, but everyone's like, it's going to be called the iPhone because everything else was whatever. And there were all these, like, renderings. You know how they do these, renderings and stuff? And they all had, like, flip apples with flip phone, Oh, look, it flips open. Maybe it flips 2 times.
And then the wheel.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, it's a thing with, exactly. So they were like, but what was amazing was all of those renderings, all those concepts were wrong.
Totally wrong.
So I have to think maybe Apple's got something
up their sleeve.
Something that's totally different.
We'll see.
Let's hope so.
We'll find out in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. See you there.
Later.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Udo.